Hi, I wanted to make a video about questions that I would ask potential caregivers. And so if you are a family member um, and want to know what questions you should ask, or if you were even a caregiver and you want to know what questions might be asked of you, then I really want you to pay attention because as we've mentioned, I'm sure before, this is not a job where you can just kind of fly by the seat of your pants. Um, this is a job where you um, you actually want to do it. You want to be of service. And before I start with the questions, let me just tell you that whether you have uh, 4 hours or 40 hours of paid care, whatever, um, or you are paying for it, the first few hours um, I had hired somebody, I would stay in the house. I might, tell them I was going to take a nap or sit out on the porch for a little bit. But the bottom line was I wanted to see how they dealt with my loved one. If they called them by their first name when they hadn't asked permission, um, whether when they changed them, they left them exposed, just little things that I wanted to see that I would pay attention to so I would know if this was somebody that I wanted to leave my loved one with. So I may look to the side because I did write down these questions so I wouldn't forget anything. But the first thing you want to ask is, how long have you been a caregiver? What type of clients have you worked with? Do you have training in dementia, mobility issues, or medical needs? And what I want you to understand is every situation is unique. Someone with experience in dementia will better handle someone who has memory loss and behaviors, while someone who um, has dealt in mobility can safely transfer um, patients to appointments or lift them. Anyway, the bottom line is their past experience gives you some insight into how well they will deal with your current situation. Number two, references and reliability. Can you provide references from past families or employers? Trustworthiness is huge. I can't emphasize that enough. And references, not always, but sometimes, reveal whether they, consistently show up on time, follow instructions, treat clients with respect. Um, this helps you avoid caregivers who may not be dependable. I can't tell you how many times I ended up having to, I mean, not that there can't be situations, but how many times I ended up having to let someone go because their excuse was, oh, I didn't show up because I forgot or I didn't write it down or, you know, we're dealing with people's lives here. Okay. So asking about references is important. Number three, communication skills. How do you update families about daily routines or changes in condition? And you want to watch if they speak clearly, if they listen carefully, and if they explain themselves during the interview. Caregiving is also a lot of observation. And you want to be able to tell someone um, the caregiver's family, the patient's family, etc. If they skipped a meal, or if medications were missed, or if somebody fell, um, we want, we need, not just want, we need details. Number 4, attitude and compassion. The question to ask is, what do you enjoy most about caregiving? How do you handle stressful situations? And you want to watch their body language, their tone of voice, and whether they speak respectfully about past clients. Um, some skills can be taught, but genuine patience, empathy, it cannot. And if they seem rushed or dismissive or speak negatively about previous families, it's a red. Number 5, practical skills and safety. Are you trained in CPR or first aid? Have you handled emergencies before? What did you do? And you want to watch and see if they can give you specific examples of how they've acted in emergencies. Accidents are going to happen. In the business, that in the caregiving business, accidents are part of it. But does that person freeze? Do they know what to do? Proper training and a calm presence is essential. So watching how they respond to you, and what specific examples they is critical. Number 6, boundaries and professionalism. Let me try talking. How do you separate your personal life from caregiving? How do you handle disagreements with families? And you want to watch to see if they seem defensive, or do they respect that your family sets certain rules of care? A good caregiver knows that they are part of a team. This is not a job that somebody does alone, okay? Um, and clear boundaries often prevent conflict and ensure your loved one's best interests come first. So, really important question, and really important for you to pay attention to. And then number 7, and you can add to the list, but these are, to me, the top 7. If my loved one refuses to bathe or eat, how would you handle it? Now, you want to see if they give thoughtful, practical strategies, or do they seem irritated by the question? Caregiving rarely goes as planned. A good caregiver can adapt, redirect, and find gentle ways to encourage cooperation. That's not always going to work, but sometimes it does. Their response will show if they are patient problem solvers, or if they are easily frustrated. So, like I said, if I've hired somebody, that first time, I usually will stay kind of close around, not necessarily saying a lot unless I have to. But, I want to see how they react to my loved one, if they treat them with respect, if they make eye contact, do they smile? Do they speak directly to them, or do they just speak to me? And for that encounter can tell me so much more than what they have said. So I hope that this helps if you are the caregiver, or if you were somebody who is interviewing for a caregiving job.